Okay. So I always love to start off with how long you've been an esthetician and where are you from? Because then we kind of know the audience, like, are you new? Are you 10 years? Normally it's a good mix. But it's fun because it's kind of cool to hear where everybody's tuning in from and how long they've been in the industry for.
My name's David Burke. I'm not an esthetician. I'm no amount of time. And yeah. All right. Packing, starting to get busier.
Yes. And then I also send it out, well, it's via newsletter and it's streamed into the group and pinned to the top.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Almost 24 years. So she is from Florida and she's been in the industry for 24 years. That's amazing.
That is amazing. Why can't I see the chat? Oh, now I can see the chat. Vermont, Florida. Hello from California.
Hello, you guys. And you guys are also welcome to turn on your mics and ask questions throughout the presentation interview.
Yeah, I mean, I maybe I don't know, maybe it'd be best if we can maybe type the question in, so you don't want people overlapping necessarily, or
Totally agree.
yeah, it's probably best to type your question in there and we'll try to get to all of them. I mean, I'll try to get to what I can. Vancouver, BC, Canada. I grew up in Toronto. Love it. Very nice. Got a lot of young estheticians. That's great.
And 4 new charges on obstruction for this new defendant, Carlos De Oliveira, who was an employee of Mar-a-Lago.
Who's watching the news? CNBC too. I can hear it's CNBC or it's MSNBC. That's for sure what it is. Can tell by what they're saying. It's MSNBC.
Okay, turn it off.
Was it MSNBC?
Yes.
Did I tell you? I know. I know. It's always about Trump and Mar-a-Lago. Secret vacations.
Yep.
My dad watches MSNBC religiously. So whenever I'm over, I just I can always hear it blaring in the other room because he can't hear.
Oh.
That's my uncle, actually.
There you go.
This is probably one of the biggest ones we've done. Like, this was very anticipated and everybody was asking questions. So I'm so excited for this. A little nervous. I was the
That's okay. I mean,
nervous. I don't know why. I've probably done them for a year and I do them at least 5 times a week and I always am nervous. It's so weird.
Oh, very nice. Listen, it's sometimes they get big, but we'll keep it pretty relaxed. You can see we're pretty relaxed people. We're nothing special. So we'll just tell everybody a little bit about what we have and take a few questions. It should be pretty relaxed. But I love your group. Honestly, it's I mean, we've gotten a lot of attraction from your group, so we thank you for it. That's for sure. Love the way you run your group.
Thank you. It's something I really love doing for sure.
Yeah, I met you. I could see how passionate you were about it. It was hard for me to not pay attention to you.
I'm a very passionate person.
That's good. No, that's great. It's a very good quality.
Okay, so you guys ready? Should we give them a little more time or should we start?
It's totally up to you. I'm good. If you want to wait till 7:10, we can do that, or we can start now. It's totally up to you. Oh, wow. After 20 years in healthcare. Well, congrats and welcome. Mona, could you hear that when it dinged on my computer just now?
No.
Okay, good. Because it's just going off and off and off, and I'm trying not to mute it and not pay attention to it, but so many different notifications.
Can you hear things on my end?
No. No. Stop. You want to come hang out and sit down while we do it? You can if you want. Okay, no problem. Do your thing. My wife, she's the CFO of BioSkin Aesthetics.
That's so cool.
She has a lot of work to do, apparently. Well, she's like the most organized person I know. So when it came time to hire, she's not always so keen about working with me because she has a lot of patience and I don't. So, after I told her, listen, you can quit your job, and she was managing one of the largest Lululemon stores in North America, and she quit. She came. That's it. Okay, I mean, I'm ready to go.
All
You guys
right.
ready to go?
So before we start, I want to make sure that because I really love to focus on like safety and efficacy, I want to talk about where we get BioRePeel. We'll do a quick little thing and then we'll get started into the questions. Cool? Because everybody's always like, where do you get BioRePeel? And I'm like, you know what, David, we need to cover this and we need to because we need to be safe. Okay, guys?
One place and one place only. BioSkin Aesthetics, especially if you're in the United States, and the more popularity we've gained, obviously the more, I mean, it really upsets me, sometimes there's a lot of counterfeit BioRePeel being sold online. Some of it's dangerous after being tested. Some of it's, not, but it's just oil and water, or I don't even know what it is. But I can tell you, people are doing a real good job at manufacturing fake product, and it drives me nuts. And my wife says, listen, in some ways that means we made it, and, because everybody wants to make a fake version, but in other ways it brings it to a question of safety and being able to put it in the proper clinics from the proper source, which is us. My partner's founded BioRePeel in Italy. BioSkin Aesthetics is a partner company of CMed Aesthetics, who is the manufacturer. And again, like I said, we are the only place to buy it. Anybody who would sell it online, it's very, very likely that it's not real, and consider that, they would sell it to your customer almost, so it's wise to not only educate yourselves, but anybody who may approach you and ask you about it. I could tell you from the horse's mouth, there's one place and one place only, and it's here. Thank you for that, Maria.
Of course. So we're going to start off with an introduction because there's two of you, and then that way people can get to know you, and then we'll deep dive into the questions.
Okay. Well, I'm David Burke. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BioSkin Aesthetics. My partners, by the way, are the creators of this product. I know that some people are talking about, I created this product. Andrea Michelini and Andrea Malventi and Carlo Michelini are the two creators of this product. They're my partners. They're in Italy, and they're probably sleeping. Yes, but BioRePeel is in 85 countries, and I'm here with Mona Cardozo, who is basically running the show over here with me as well. She's been doing this almost since the beginning, since I convinced her to leave her position and come over here and start working with us. And that's it. So we can go right into, I guess, whatever you wanted to ask, Maria.
Okay. Can you provide a brief overview of BioRePeel and its mission in the beauty industry?
So simple. I mean, when we went out to create BioRePeel, when they went out to create BioRePeel, excuse me, I guess in Europe it's kind of a standard now not to really do any damage to the epidermis. Peeling peels just aren't really popular there anymore. And the job was to find something that works for all skin types. That, because there's a lot of prep involved for darker skin types with other peels, and something that didn't do damage, but also something that was safe and, literally almost impossible to hurt somebody with. And they developed BioRePeel in their living room with microscopes and bowls and dishes of different formulas and ingredients and different concoctions to make this product and, to turn it into what it is today.
That's awesome. What sets BioRePeel apart from other peels? Because what about this peel and that peel? And I tell everybody, every peel is beautiful, but BioRePeel has its own special uniqueness.
Yeah, well, so BioRePeel, I guess traditional chemical peels, what they do, and Mona will correct me if I'm wrong. Generally what they're doing is they're, attacking the superficial layer to start by dehydrating it, which in turn is going to make you peel, in order to kind of get down to the area in which that peel wants to work and do its magic, quote unquote. With BioRePeel, what sets it apart, what makes it really pretty much the only real TCA peel that, bypasses the epidermis and works down below it. And as opposed to every other peel that works from the, the outside in, BioRePeel actually works from the inside out. Okay, so what does that do in turn? That makes it something that's not photosensitive because all the activity is happening beneath the epidermis, right? So you can be exposed to sun where it's not going to burn or anything like that. Now, where does the actual peeling happen with BioRePeel? Because it's not happening on the superficial layer. It's happening right underneath. We're exfoliating the skin. We're turning over, old cells into fresh cells, collagen, elastin. It's basically working the way that my partner's philosophy is. And that is that the problem didn't start from the external area. The problem generally starts from internally. And you only go to your esthetician when you look in the mirror and you see it, in your face. You can see the pimples that you have on your face or the pigmentation that's now developed. But generally the root of a lot of these things starts from underneath. And that was our philosophy.
That's great. Thank you, David. And I would like to add to that what sets BioRePeel different from any other chemical peel on the market is actually the biphasic technology as well. So if you do see in our vial, we have a top blue layer, which is called the lipophilic phase, and we have a bottom layer, which is called the hydrophilic phase. Both of these actions, as David mentioned, have specific effects on the skin. That top blue layer actually protects the outer skin from any natural water loss. It also carries all of the ingredients right down into the dermis, working from the inside out. It also has a protective action from all of the ingredients from oxidizing. Now that yellow layer, our hydrophilic phase, is the powerhouse to our peel. That's where you're going to find TCA, AHA, PHAs, amino acids, vitamins, and gamma. So really, BioRePeel is the only one on the market of such a high TCA percentage that works from the inside out. As David mentioned, no peeling, no pain, no downtime, and summer safe.
And everything you guys talked about gets me so excited. And that is why I was obsessed with starting with the BioRePeel family. I tell everybody, first and foremost, I'm an esthetician obsessed with beauty. And everything you guys talk about, oh my God, I get on fire. Okay, next. What does BioRePeel, what skin concerns does it help? So who is it for? What is it treating? And if I'm an esthetician, I'm like, okay, what do I tell my clients? What am I going to help them with?
Absolutely. So BioRePeel is great for all Fitzpatrick skin types 1 through 6. Our higher Fitzpats, we don't necessarily have to prep weeks in advance in order to do a BioRePeel treatment. Now, BioRePeel is suitable for acne, rosacea, melasma, hyperpigmentation, fine lines, wrinkles, and scar removal. The best part is that BioRePeel can actually be done as a standalone topical peel or in combination with other modalities as well.
What kind of modalities?
So you can do a little dermaplaning before, LED light after, needling on top. You can do, those that do work at a med spa and they do injectables, you can definitely get injectables right after. You can do lymphatic drainage massage, hydrating mask, gelling mask. It's endless.
One of the things that I thought was so exciting is when I was watching onboarding video, you can literally use it as when you're microneedling. And I was
You're
like,
blind.
this is the stuff. you know,
Absolutely. Because we're not causing damage to that outer layer, you can actually needle right on top. Now, doing such, BioRePeel provides that controlled chemical injury, and then that needling provides that little mechanical injury. So put the two together, amazing results.
Chef's kiss. What are the specific ingredients in BioRePeel? Could you explain the key ingredients in BioRePeel and the benefits for the skin?
Mona,
Absolutely.
please.
Yes, of course. So BioRePeel, as mentioned, doesn't only have one ingredient, so the TCA. BioRePeel is formulated with TCA, AHA, PHA, amino acids, vitamins, and gamma. So all of these ingredients play a crucial role onto the skin and in the skin. So we're not only providing a chemical injury control, but we're also boosting hydration, boosting revitalization within the skin. So BioRePeel does stimulate fibroblast activity. It protects against free radicals and builds collagen production and elastin.
Are there any specific skin conditions or skin types that BioRePeel is better for?
Honestly, BioRePeel is so versatile. Everyone can benefit from a BioRePeel application and treatment. Now, because it's so versatile, you can combine it with other modalities to really target specific conditions. Let's say someone has acne scars. Yes, BioRePeel works phenomenal on acne scars, but why not, if you do offer a little bit of channeling or needling, do that in combo with that to really target and break up that scar tissue. So it's really, really versatile, and honestly, everyone can benefit from it.
So exciting.
Yes.
What steps have been taken to ensure that the safety of using BioRePeel in a professional setting?
Well, I mean, pretty simply, years of testing. I mean, we've had it on the market for 5 years right now in 84 countries. The US was the most recent. Well, I think we signed a contract for Brazil yesterday for South America, and that's the first one because we haven't had it in South America at all. That's pretty much the only continent left where there isn't BioRePeel. But yeah, I mean, steps to ensure safety. We have a 20,000 square foot facility in Pisa, Italy, with 71 employees. We manufacture the product in-house in our own facility with our own chemists and our own employees. We outsource the cardboard box that we put the product in. Otherwise, everything else is manufactured in-house, tested in-house, quality assured in-house.
That's amazing. So I'm an esthetician. I'm bringing in BioRePeel. What steps do I have to prep my clients, or can I go straight to it? Is it good for a first-time client, somebody who's been with me forever? What do I have to do to get my client to start their first peel?
Absolutely. So what you want to ensure is that your clients are off actives and retinoids at least 7 days prior to the peel. We also want to ensure that there are no allergies. So we do have TCA, AHA, PHA, amino acids, vitamins, and gamma. We want to make sure no one has any allergies to those specific ingredients. Also aspirin, there is salicylic inside. Pregnancy or nursing, we can't do a BioRePeel application. And anyone that's on heavy acne medication, Accutane or antibiotics, we really need to get doctor's clearance first. Other than that, we can definitely do a BioRePeel application. And now the steps would be, if you're just doing a standalone application, cleanse the skin with a very gentle cleanser. From there, use our Forever Kit, which is a universal preconditioning kit that will give you that nice exfoliation prior to BioRePeel, alcohol swab, BioRePeel application. From there, completely remove BioRePeel off the face. It is a self-neutralizing peel, but we still want to remove it off the face as it's green and sticky. From there, you move into your hydrating step. That's BioRehydra, BioRelift, and then SPF, and your treatment is complete.
We're talking from start to finish, maybe, you know, like, I mean, if you're really taking your time and you're being, you know, with the Forever Kit application, 20 minutes in and out of your clinic, and getting up immediately and looking in the mirror and having the GABA kick in with the Botox-like effect. Like Mona said, you know, the acne, melasma, rosacea, hyperpigmentation, stretch marks, scarring. Not only that, just, you know, like my mom, for example, for age management, you know, like it's there to help turn over cells and produce collagen and elastin, you know, just to keep the skin nice and tight. So it's extremely versatile. And the best part is beyond those conditions that we discussed, I mean, it's really not, you know, BioRePeel's for anybody. You know, a VI, for example, if you're working on a Fitzpatrick 4, 5, and 6 with a VI peel, the prep involved, from my understanding, is like you're getting ready for a marathon. They got to see the people a couple weeks before and start getting them on some different products to get them ready to do this peel that's going to be so evasive. But this is not the case with BioRePeel. It really is safe for just about anybody.
So if a client is off of retinoids, isn't allergic, on the first visit, they could do a BioRePeel, even if they're using like soap as their face wash? Their peel?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, and they can do it on their lunch break. We have, some very successful customers with the lunchtime peel in business centers with their medical spas.
I love, and then how soon after can they do the next treatment?
So
I've been-
ideally, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just said 7 to 10 days, but please, I want you to elaborate.
Yes. So ideally, BioRePeel is sold in a series of 4. Now, of course, sometimes your clients may need a 5th or a 6th, but ideally the general number is about 4. And BioRePeel is applied every 7 to 10 days. 7 days if we're just doing a topical application, meaning just BioRePeel Blue, of course, cleansing and then hydrating. More towards the 10 days if we're doing anything advanced. So if we're doing a little needling, or if we're doing a little bit of gold on spot treating on the face, we want to give a little bit more time for that repair and recovery before they come in for their next treatment.
I'm like, well, since you brought it up, how do we incorporate, because there is BioRePeel Blue, which is for the face, and
Yes.
BioRePeel Gold. How do we incorporate when is a good time to incorporate BioRePeel Gold? Because I know it's for the body parts, but you can also use it for melasma. So at what point do we add it? Because everybody's like, can you tell me a little bit about the gold?
For sure. So BioRePeel Gold, as mentioned, is used all over the body except the intimate area. Anytime you want to do a BioRePeel application around the intimate area, we're going to use BioRePeel Blue. Now, in order, when can you do a BioRePeel Gold application on the face? Honestly, depends on the treatment. I never advise anyone to do an advanced protocol on treatment number 1. But you can definitely do it on treatment number 2, treatment number 3, treatment number 4. Now, not all clients will require a gold for spot treating, but for some clients, definitely you can pick up, you can move towards a 50%, or you can actually mix the blue and the gold together to create a higher TCA percentage where it's not 50% and it's not 35%. So you can actually do a 1 ml together in one syringe and create a 42%. And I love doing this, especially for those that have really thick skin. And you do a first application of BioRePeel Blue, second application, you want to kick it up a notch. You want to do a mix of 1 and 1. Third application, now you want to go in with gold for spot treating. You definitely could. So you could increase the TCA percentage slowly if you like as well.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Okay, so I love BioRePeel. I started. How
Yes.
does the onboarding process work? And is there any training, continuing education?
Absolutely.
Yes, go ahead. I was going to say, tell them how we structure when we set up accounts.
Yes. So anyone that gets a BioRePeel application, of course, is they would have a representative that is in contact with them one-on-one. We do have a welcome email that goes out. We do have a Facebook group page only for our clients, a very supportive community. You actually have access to the chemist, David Burke, Burke, myself, and all of our other team members. Very, questions and answers, pictures posted daily. You have access to our client drive, which has procedures, protocols, webinars, pictures, consent forms, all of that information as well. And our team does weekly webinars as well. So emails do go out, you get a weekly webinar, you join in, we do a live, just like what we're doing today, except we'll do like a nice live demo, questions and answers, pictures are submitted, we walk through different protocols designated to every picture that was submitted, price breakdown, how to incorporate it onto your menu based on the treatments that you currently offer. So there's a huge supporting community that we have. And then we also have training modules as well.
Very exciting. So somebody did ask, how do they take off the BioRePeel? It's a
Yes.
wet 4x4, which
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you're comparing it to a hot towel, definitely wet 4x4. Also, by the way, so I actually wanted to address this one in regards for pairing well with most professional skincare lines. The only homework with BioRePeel essentially is to keep the skin hydrated. Honestly, that's really all it is. You got to think about it. The peel is working, it's bypassing the epidermis, right? So you're going to need a serum, something hydrating that's going to be able to bypass that superficial layer and get down to the area to hydrate where BioRePeel is working. So we developed 2 products, our rehydrating serum and our lifting moisturizer product. I mean, I've tested it against most skincare lines that I could actually get my hands on in the United States. I've sent them off to Italy. I'm not the brainiac doing it. My partners test them against other products that are out there on the market. I don't want to name specific company names or anything like that. But BioRehydrate, BioRelift, they score significantly higher than anything I've tested it against. So, I mean, if there's a skincare brand at the end of the day, I'm always curious to test it against and to see if it compares. But we recommend if at all, I don't force my customers to buy our aftercare, but I highly recommend it. You know, the peel, obviously, you know, I always tell people you have a 75% chance at succeeding with the peel anyways, even if you use none of our stuff, but that's just because the product is that good. But if you use our aftercare and you educate your clients correctly, they're off the actives, they're off the retinols. So there's no excuse for them to have any kind of weird reactions. Adverse, it never happens. We're very fortunate because the product is overly safe. But I recommend, if possible, to at least give our aftercare a shot because it really is incredible.
Exciting. So one of my favorite things to talk about is, because I love people to know their numbers.
Yes.
How much do we charge for this service? And what is it?
So I just answered that actually. Basically, I mean, I haven't really seen BioRePeel sold for less than $250 a session. I just haven't, you know. I've seen it sold as high as $900 a session in the Hamptons, but I guess I can understand that, you know, they throw money around over there. So that's just maybe what a standard rate is, and to them, that's like what $150 or $200 is to, you know, someone like us. But I would say that I like the price range of people coming in buying a 4-package session from you. You charge them $1,000, or even you charge them maybe $1,100, subsidize the cost of the little aftercares that you're going to send them home with. So at least you know what they're putting on their face in between that time period, that they're seeing you in between peels. And that's kind of why I push the post care, because we have customer sizes that are about 1 month supplies, and we send you home with it. But for back to the price, I think it's a $250, $300 range per session is a good price range to start with.
Yes, and I would just like to add for that, the cost for the esthetician or the, the team, 2 mLs of BioRePeel equals $33 for cost.
Which is good numbers.
Yes.
Well, I mean, also I know that's all great and stuff. And in fact, on my price list, that's what it says. But realistically, if you're using my aftercare, which you should be, if you're using my preconditioning kit, which you should be, your cost per treatment is about $42. So let's call it really what it is. Like, but if you're charging $250 and the entire treatment is taking you less than 20 minutes, then how much is your time worth, right? So your time now becomes worth over $200 for 20 minutes worth of work for a product that you can do on all skin types all year around. And it's not photosensitive. You know, I mean, the chemical peel was the second most popular cosmetic procedure done in the United States last year. And, carrying BioRePeel, any one of you that decide to do it, you're one of the few, because it's not like we have thousands and thousands and thousands of customers. People only woke up to the fact that you're not supposed to peel in the last year. You know, my first year and a half here, Mona can attest, was a very large struggle. We would get, if it's not peeling, then they're not peeling, you know. That's what we heard for a very long time. And in Europe, we're just so used to every country wanting this and everybody wanting this because it's been popular for years there. It was very tough for us to stomach that the United States was still kind of in that, I mean, I like to call it flip phone era, you know, where, you know, it's like they don't want to, the advancements are a little slower here because of the time it takes to get approval for things, really. That's the truth. So I'm just happy that we finally got it here, and everybody that we're working with is making money with this product pretty much.
So then it's a great question. What is the shelf life?
2 years on a product unopened in my box at the bare minimum. I think my current expiration dates are 2026. But once you pierce the vial through the little center cap right here, because you'll pop the center cap off. Once you pierce it with your cannula and syringe, you've got about 6 to 8 weeks to use the rest of this vial. That's just one vial. This is 3 treatments of BioRePeel. So that was the biphasic technology, the dual layers Mona was talking about. Give it a shake, nice and green, ready to pull. So you'll get about 3 treatments per vial.
So I'm like, they're good to go. How would they market this peel to new clients and existing customers?
Do you want to answer that? I can answer it if you want to, or you can.
So BioRePeel for existing clients, anyone that comes in for a service, you can definitely do a BioRePeel application. So I always recommend doing a package deal for the client and introducing BioRePeel. And now BioRePeel, it's not like your traditional chemical peels where, everyone has to put a stop to their social life, stay indoors, don't touch the skin with all that homework that comes with it. So BioRePeel is really easy to introduce to new clients. The way I love to introduce it is, showing all these incredible before and after pictures, but also doing a little hand demo or doing a hand treatment for them, complementary with their service that they're getting. Let's say they're doing a microneedling session and you go in and do a hand treatment on them just to introduce how, how well their hand will look after. And then from there, book in their clients to come and do a face application.
Genius, by the way.
Thank you.
Genius.
The
Okay, you guys.
easiest way to introduce BioRePeel to anyone is honestly, once they feel their skin after BioRePeel is removed, it feels like velvet. It is so soft, it's so radiant. For everyone that's joining us here, if you do get a chance to get a BioRePeel treatment done on yourself, when you remove the peel off your face, remove those gloves, use BioRelift, BioRehydra just to feel how soft and radiant your skin feels.
It does feel really soft. That is genius. I think about that, but tomorrow I'm going to do it on everybody's hand.
Yeah.
It's really a good, we use that method at trade shows because I can't have people coming in and doing faces and it still takes 10 minutes, but you can do somebody's hand, you can apply it, massage it in, you can get it all done in the application in a minute and a half, and then you have them chill out for 7 minutes while they're looking around. They come back, you clean it off, you hydrate it, and all they got to do is do this, and it's an immediate result. You can just now imagine that on the face, and that's what you're going to see.
I never would have thought of that ever, but I love it because when the clients say you're not really selling it, you're just like, look it, and they get to see the results, and then they're like, okay, I'll be here next week or tomorrow.
Yeah.
we have some huge clinics that offer BioRePeel to start with for free. We have a place in Arizona that has 4 locations. Before she does a Botox or a Juvederm treatment, it's a very high-end clinic. They charge a lot of money for all their services. She'll do the BioRePeel on them, and what she tells me is funny. She's like, that's the way we sell it. She's like, I use $1.5 million to get a 4-session package. She's like, I got to blow $1.5 million on somebody's face, for free. And then it's funny because they call them back the next, so they do the BioRePeel, then they do her Botox and her Juvederm. And she's usually like, they'll call a couple days later and they'll say, hey, my lips look great. My skin looks, on the wrinkles are gone. Great job on the Botox. But she's like, but they generally call and say, what was that green stuff you put on my face before you did the Botox, Oh, well, that's BioRePeel. It's a TCA peel from Italy, and your skin's nice. And they're like, yeah. Do you guys do that as a standalone treatment? And that's how she sells her packages.
Genius. I tell all my clients who come in, once you get a good facial, there's no going back. So you can be like, you can leave, and the client will leave. And literally week 4, they're like, can I come in? Because you can never go back to not having healthy, fresh looking skin. You're like sold forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. It's very good for it's very good for just general age management, age age prevention, from obviously a vanity standpoint. But like my mother, my sister, my wife, none of them would ever get a regular traditional peel that peels. None of them have ever even thought about it. And all of them, my wife does 3 3-week sessions a year, and once a month BioRePeel. That's what she does for her. That's her Botox.
I love that. She's like, man, I'm exactly where I need to be, huh?
And the Rehydra and the Relift, you'll find it in my bathroom. In my bedroom, I hydrate with it. Like, I use the products we have. I use it. I know I don't look amazing, but I use it.
Okay. So, are there any success stories of estheticians who have incorporated BioRePeel? I named this the money-making esthetician because I always tell everybody, money can't buy happiness, but it can buy you time and gas and food and groceries. So are there any success stories? That's important.
So I can elaborate on that one. Listen, not everybody works because they love it. And I know estheticians, more than regular people working regular jobs, do love their jobs because you're helping people, and I totally get that. But at the end of the day, we're also working because we have bills to pay, right? And as much, we want to make sure a product's safe, we want to make sure it's beneficial to our customers, and we want to make money with it. So success stories. So I'm not going to name customers because I don't want to throw people out there. I don't know. I didn't ask anybody for their permission, but we have simple customers who started with a box. I'll give one specifically that I can think of. A year and a half ago, she had no reason to trust us. She bought a box. She was doing mostly just aesthetics, like cosmetic stuff. She was one of the best makeup artists I've seen for weddings, and she was doing lashes and microblading, and that was her business. Suffice to say, she was a 1-box customer. Let me try it out. now the only service she provides is BioRePeel. It's actually the only service she provides. She books in chemical peels daily, and I asked her like a couple months ago, I remember asking her name's Lisa, said, how much money are you making? Because she's ordering now, like, I don't know, Mona, what, 3-4 boxes a week?
Yes.
So she's going through, like, I don't know, 12 to 15 boxes a month, I think, something like that. So she told me that she's doing about, 180 peels a month at 280 a session. So, you could do the math on that. I'm actually not really sure how much that is, but that's thousands and thousands of dollars. And that's just one. There are other ones that are doing 100 peels or 50 peels. What do they like about this? That you can really do it on anyone. You don't have to worry that they're going to be screaming with the VI peel and I'm burning or I'm shedding for 2 weeks already. What's going on? These are kind of things that overall, in general, you don't have to worry with BioRePeel. So it's just so easy to apply, and it's just, you can apply it on everyone. And it's a very, very good money-making product because you can literally do it on almost anybody.
And I actually have my clients reaching out to me, those that, offer chemical peels, the ones that have the downtime where, you can only use it maybe 2 or 3 times out of the year, and then it's put on pause, sitting on the shelf. And then the rest of the year, they're just doing hydrating facials or other facials that don't include something that has downtime. But for the rest of the year, now they've introduced BioRePeel, and they're generating revenue on months that they weren't with chemical peels that were put on pause. So that's a benefit of BioRePeel as well. And I have a lot of my clients now that are offering body treatments when they weren't offering body treatments, because they did BioRePeel on the hands, as I mentioned, and now everyone wants their hands done. Everyone wants their back done. Everyone wants their underarms done. I actually had a phone call today, and she's like, I never used to do body, but I need a gold one. Please order me some boxes of gold, because everyone wants body treatments now as well, because they love the way that their face looks and feels.
Right.
I love that, because I always get a lot of questions of people asking. I have a vendor, like they're doing like farmers markets or shows or stuff like that. This is such a good thing to just put on somebody's hand really quick, like you're doing at the trade shows, and be like, this is something, do you want to set up for it? You know what I mean? Amazing. That's such a good idea.
Absolutely.
Something fun. Are there any up and coming, before I want to leave it really quick before we start, traveling at the out. Are there any questions that anybody would like to ask?
Oh, by the way, you can, Maria actually works with us after having it in her clinic and using it herself. She contacted me a little bit after and said, I'd like to work with this product. I believe it's beneficial to a lot of the people in the group. And I was more than enthusiastic to have her. And in fact, we posted the link over there for Maria's order form. If you wanted to order, she also posted a link for you to inquire with her. Maria knows the product too. I know she's asking us questions as an interviewer, but she's been using this product now, so she also knows the product. She could support, any of you that sign up as well. So that's why I've told her to post her link, because it's not that it's like a referral link. She actually plans on working with any one of you that decide to sign up. Sorry to speak on behalf of you, Maria, but I see they were asking where they can order.
So I posted the link because I was like, I want to make sure that I contact and call everybody. I've literally been on the phone, no joke, from like 9 to 7 at night, emailing and calling and walking everybody through the process. So I made the job form to stay organized, so I give everybody their own attention. But yes. So somebody asked, is it okay to microdermabrasion?
Yes, absolutely. So essentially you can do a microdermabrasion before, you can do dermaplaning before, you can do our forever kit before, but please keep in mind, we're always going to do one exfoliant before BioRePeel. So don't do a microdermabrasion and then the forever kit at the same time. Just pick one, and then from there, go ahead and apply BioRePeel. I do see another question here that says, is it safe to use on eyelids? Now, honestly, BioRePeel is safe everywhere on the body. But when it comes to applying around the eyes, I like to go right underneath the eye, right around the crow's feet, and right underneath the brow. It is safe on the eyelid. I personally don't do it on the eyelids, and I just find that there's no need on the eyelid, but you can go right around the eye bone, brow bone right there. I know there was another question. Said, oh, amazing. Microneedling and BioRePeel is amazing. Also, another incredible line that you can use is our Mesotherapy, which is phenomenal for microneedling as well, right there. And you can actually combine BioRePeel, microneedling, and Sarah all in one treatment. So that is also fun too. My favorite combo treatment. I saw another question. I don't know where it went.
Well, the Sarah mesotherapy, I don't know, for any of you that microneedle, for example, it's mesotherapy is actually one of the most popular treatments in Europe, and in a lot of countries, this is actually injected. It's in a sterile vial, and it is the natural alternative to Botox and fillers and skin rejuvenation products in Europe. It's actually more popular, I believe, than Botox and Juvederm is in Europe. What we have it for in the United States is not for injection. We had it registered for microneedling because we found that, after numerous testing over, I don't know, I'd say almost a year with this product, that the effectiveness of microneedling is, so far the best I've seen. It's extremely concentrated. It's vacuum sterilized, which loses no potency during the manufacturing process, as opposed to industry standards, which are anywhere between 40 and 60%. So it's strong. You don't need a lot of it, and it becomes your new microneedling serum, and we have it in 4 different formulations. And again, you can contact Maria and we can go into it, a little more in depth. I could keep you here all night talking about this one. Were you asking, Maria, were you about to ask about future products?
Yes, I was.
Okay, because I thought I heard you starting that. So in regards to future product, I have one future product that I can speak about that'll be here in about 5 to 6 weeks. It's a brightening solution. It is for pigment on the skin. It is a mesotherapy product, microneedled, with a take-home cream for customers. And if I had access to the one picture, I would just sit here very unprofessionally scrolling through my phone rampantly, trying to find it to show you one of our test subjects that we did it on. But I've never seen anything working with marks on the face the same way that I've seen this product work. Again, it's not a chemical peel. It's not a chemical injury. It's a different type of injury, and it's separate from BioRePeel, but it is one of the best skin brightening products that are available, and we'll have it soon. Everybody will get an announcement when we got it ready to go.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
What else, Maria?
So how does BioRePeel actively seek feedback from beauty professionals?
It's not too hard when somebody spends some money on you. They're damn right going to tell you how they feel about it. We're just lucky that 98, 99% of it is positive. And for the first year and a half, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, Mona, the first 18 months, I think we sold this product, we offered a full money back guarantee. If you're not happy,
Yes.
take your money back, and we would send them a box, and we wouldn't 10 boxes try. We had customers who are like, okay, we're sold 5 boxes, and it would be, no, take 1 box, make sure that you like it. If you don't like it, put it back in the box, return it to us. We never took one return. There was never a return request. In fact, actually, quickly, there was a return request one time from a woman in Florida who didn't realize that I lived only 20 minutes away from her clinic. She said, it wasn't working for her. I got in my car, I drove with the actual money to give her. I got there and she was kind of stuttering and stammering, and I didn't know what was wrong. And then I looked behind her and I saw the BioRePeel was still in the cellophane. She hadn't taken it out of the box. So I guess maybe she didn't plan on using it and decided to tell us that she tried it and she didn't like it. So I sat with her, we did a demo, we tried it out, and happy to say she's still a customer today, and a pretty good one. That was the only return request we ever had.
I'm trying to leave it open for questions. Sometimes I move too fast and then I'm
one vial of our body peel, which is twice the size of our blue peel, is definitely enough for a back treatment. You'd probably, depending on how large the back is, you'd need anywhere between 3 to 6 mLs, if it was a big back, So we like to tell people also in regards to BioRePeel, and once you become a customer and you get one of Mona's incredible Zoom trainings, or Lacey, one of my other in-house estheticians, or Teresa, another one of our in-house estheticians. I don't know who it'll be, but, I try to get Mona to do them weekly if I can, because, she's the one here on the Zoom, as you see. She's been here since almost day one. But I like to tell people, your charge should be between $100 to $125 per ml used. So you have a vial, there's 12 mLs in it. You should be taking home, at the bare minimum, $1,200 from this vial. Your cost on this vial is about $160. If you're buying it obviously by the box. So it's very profitable, and that's what I'd like to have everybody do to kind of scale it. If we were to buy the product, will we get trained on how to use it? Of course you would. 100%.
That was one of the questions.
How long does it take to get the product after ordering? Well, it's the only legal place to get it again is BioSkin Aesthetics. We ship from Florida in my warehouse, and you will have it within 3 days via UPS, insured package to ensure that you get what you paid for and that it comes in proper condition. Any other questions? For underarm peels, do you find that the finish is ever sticky or wet after the peel has been completed? What do you tell your clients about aftercare? Tell them, Mona.
So always, if it's a body application or a face application, remember BioRePeel is being completely removed off the skin. And to ensure that everything's been removed, do a final wipe with your 4x4s that are wet with water. And if there's no green or yellow residue left behind, that means everything has been removed. From there, you always want to go in with BioReHydra, BioRelift, hydrate, 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 and then SPF, and your treatment is done. It shouldn't be sticky. It shouldn't be wet or anything like that. Pat dry and then go in with your aftercare. So everything should be nice, smooth, and velvety.
And the pictures that we have after one application of underarms would you'd fall off your chair. It really is like for lightening up the underarm area. It's one of the best body treatments that I see with this. What about wearing deodorant?
Yes, so deodorant is okay. I would just wait at least a few hours before applying deodorant. And then like, let's say I did a treatment, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I would wait till I go home in the evening, maybe shower before bed.
Yeah,
and then
maybe even the next day, maybe even the next day sometime, we like to say like just the next day, like working out too, like the next day, you want to swim, maybe 1 or 2 days, you just want to make sure that it gets down into that area. And then once it's there, I mean, there's nothing on your face except for you hydrating your face just to make sure that everything stays nice. How do you store an open vial? Room temperature. That's the beauty of this. It's been sitting in room temperature. Again, you're not opening a vial. You're not pulling the top off. If you did, you'd oxidize it. You have this little circular tip right here. All you have to do with your fingernail, you might break it. Me, I'm a guy, I have no fingernails, but I can pull it up. Or you use an old pair of tweezers, pop it up. You have a rubber stopper, pierce the vial, and that's it. There'll just be a little hole. So you'll notice the product will reseparate itself after about, 8 minutes or so. And that's also to prevent it from oxidizing. And that's it. But you'll get 6 to 8 weeks out of an open vial, and just room temperature. Dark, you're not in front of the window where the sun is. A good question, though.
That's a question.
Anyone else? Oh, for cleansing in the beginning of the treatment, I use Glymed because I still use my glycotic. Okay, so you'll be able to answer this, Mona, after me. But so I just want to make just one thing clear. So we don't make a minimum order, and there's a few reasons for that. Reason number one is it's funny, but sometimes people will say to me, why do you care about the small client the same as you do about the large client? And my answer is real simple. My smallest clients in the beginning are my largest clients now. All of you have the same potential as the massive acne clinic in California that orders. And frankly, I prefer to talk to you because you guys are on the front lines every day, Instagramming, social media, promoting yourselves, working for yourselves. And I have more respect for you guys than I do for a lot of these larger companies that just, they already have the business. So, it's just, Mona, for the aftercare and stuff like that, I like to hear that people, I don't like it when they cross products that work with peeling peels, for example, or it doesn't mean that it's not going to work or that there aren't other products out there that work with BioRePeel, but I would like to see, at least for the start, everybody give the aftercare a shot, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, number one, at the price, and number two, that it really, really works. And it's not just for BioRePeel, it's all made in Tuscany, Italy. None of this is, Korean stuff made outside of, it's made in Italy, and we've spent a lot of time on it. And I've done my best to make it affordable so that you guys try it and use it. I just cross mixing. Any weird things we've ever heard have been with people who've decided to use up the rest of their product from their previous peel before they went and tried ours, and I recommend maybe trying ours to start. But you can elaborate.
Yeah, so the Glymed glycolic cleanser does have a high percentage. Ideally, I don't want you using that before a BioRePeel application. What you want to look for ingredients are just calming ingredients that have no actives in it before a BioRePeel application, because BioRePeel has TCA, AHA, PHA, amino acids, vitamins, and gamma. There is no need to have that in the cleanser and again when applying BioRePeel. So the cleaner the ingredients are, the gentle the good cleanser is, that's what you want to use to remove makeup, sunscreens, and lotion. Now for post-care, as David mentioned, on your first order, please just give our small size of Relift and Rehydra a chance. It is used after BioRePeel has been removed off the skin, before SPF, and ideally, I would like your client sent home with it used morning and evening for the duration of BioRePeel application. The key here is hydration, hydration, hydration. Everything else that we're getting from other ingredients for those fine lines, resurfacing, anything it may be, BioRePeel has the ingredients inside that will help rejuvenate the skin. So allow BioRePeel to really show its power. And then from there, after your BioRePeel series are done, then we can reassess the skin and put you on maybe even a whole new skincare routine, because we've resolved many of the issues.
Yeah, very good. So, I mean, also, by the way, about the syringes and stuff, I mean, all this stuff is readily available on Amazon. And you know what's funny? Pulling the product, I found that a dental cannula, like a hooked dental cannula, works great, because you need a 16 or 18 gauge needle to get the thickness, to get the product out of a vial. And so I found a dental cannula and was messing around with it one day and realized that for me personally, it's one of my favorites. I'd say it's more almost like a 60-40. More people like the dental cannula, but a lot of people like using the longer syringe because they feel like when it gets lower in the vial, they can get that last little dropout easier than having to move it around.
Right now.
Sorry?
343 went up.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know what that was. Anyways, anyways, the point is that, you know, it's all readily accessible. Generally on the first order, we kind of put a few of them on there just so you know what you need to get. But on our welcome email, we give you links on Amazon where you can buy the stuff. I mean, $20, you can get, you know, a 5-month supply of the stuff. You know, it's really, it's all, that's where I order it from, you know, when it's available, which is most of the time. To store, sanitize, disinfect. I mean, the syringes, again, this is a topical product that you're not touching somebody's skin with, that you're not injecting anybody with. This is not an injectable, you know? So no, I mean, you know, when, you know, my mom and my wife had a session done in the same time, you know, the esthetician just pulled from, you know, for my wife's treatment and then pulled for my mom's treatment. You're using it to essentially pull the product on and drop it on the face, put the syringe away and go into it. Do I say use the same one over and over day after day? Absolutely not. You know, throw them out. Generally, it's probably best. I mean, they won't cost you a lot anyways, and it's good practice. But yeah, it's just, again, this is not something that we're injecting and touching people with. Yes, no problem. Okay, perfect. That's what I imagined. Okay, yeah. And by the way, if a client had a wax, no bueno, no BioRePeel. Couple weeks, at least a week, at least a week. You want everything to heal. So we've seen some like pictures are like, oh my God, what happened to my customer? And they fail to realize that Mona's a pro by now. Like you can show Mona a picture and she'll be like, retinol, wax, like she'll say it, you know, and she looked at the picture and she's like, wax, 100%. And I said, are you sure the client didn't get a wax? And she goes, no, not at all. I said, do me a favor, call the customer out, say, listen, I know you got a wax, call her bluff, see what happens. And she, of course, 20 minutes later, she got a wax 2 days ago, you know. So that's why she's having a bit of a reaction. Again, did her face get destroyed? No, she got a little more excessive flaking. It was red and kind of itchy for a while, but her skin looked great after, you know. Hydrate, 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 doesn't matter. Like I said, it's virtually impossible to hurt somebody with this product.
Any more questions? We also want to say one more time to keep everybody safe. This is the only place to get BioRePeel.
Yes, please.
BioSkin Aesthetics.
Google's the devil. Google's the devil.
For the people in the back.
Yes, people, if you showed up late, you know, as I said, you know, when people, you know, when they're riding what people perceive as the gravy train, I guess, maybe they think we're all millionaires or something. I don't know, but BioRePeel is very popular. We have a lot of customers, and I've now started to see an insane amount of fake product on the market. If it's on Google and being sold on a website to just anybody, trust me, don't buy it. That means that your customer can buy it. Let them buy the fake stuff and come for when they need the real peel for you, you know? But I mean, as much as I'm trying to control it, these guys are in, you know, Indonesia and England, and unfortunately, I don't have any jurisdiction over them in these countries. So I'm doing my best to turn off who I can. But please, you've been on the Zoom, and if you know anybody, I don't care what price they see. The lower you see it, the more chances are that it's not real, and it's detrimental to your business.
And why I bring that up is because he works really, really hard to make sure that there are no knockoffs. So he tries them, and then he sees like people's skin getting burned off, or
Well, so I didn't want to say that, but I'll tell you that what we've done over the last 2 weeks was, because we've really gained popularity over the last 6 months to where everybody finally woke up to what this is. But now I'm seeing all these different websites selling it when there was just a couple before maybe. So what do? I go on with my Pops' credit card. We make a purchase. We ship it over to his house in Boynton Beach, Florida. We get the product. I scan the lot number just to make sure if it's in fact real. We have a testing strip that my partner's developed, which is reacts like human skin would react. And out of the 14 different websites I ordered from, 9 were counterfeit. What was the scariest part of this? The scariest part of this was 2 vials that looked exactly the same as this, like to a point where I'm like, okay, which distributor am I turning off? We puncture the vial, we pull it out, and in the syringe, it's almost bubbling. And I'm like, this is crazy. I drop it on the test strip, and what happens? The strip melts, okay? So that would be like any one of you taking this product, buying it online to save the $150, pulling it out and putting it on your hand and watching it melt through your hand. It was like acid is what it was. How they even made it green, I don't even know. It's shocking to me. One was oil and water with some coloring in it. It looked real great until you shook it and nothing happened. And then we found 3 that were real. And the 3 that were real were from 3 different countries, and I've terminated their distribution agreements already. It's a zero tolerance from my distributors around the world trying to profit off the United States, especially because it's labeled differently. It's not called blue and gold. Blue and gold is what has been registered in the US. The other name that I have for it in Europe is not registered in the United States, is not covered, and is not it's not permitted to be used in any clinics. So BioSkin Aesthetics, that's it.
I know, but I want to
Unless
make
otherwise.
to keep it safe, because the last thing you want to do is get it from somewhere, and that's a big liability.
Yes.
I mean, my hope is, of course, that anybody would have tried it on themselves first, but without going too deep, we're dealing with a situation right now where somebody's awaiting trial on not doing it on themselves the first time, and they made a very big mistake.
Very scary.
And they were a customer of ours and informed us that they found it for less and didn't really understand that we own BioRePeel. We're not just a distributor; we actually own it.
Is this product good for lightening the skin?
Mona?
Yes, absolutely. Now you can use it on the body, gold for the body, blue on the face. As mentioned before, you can mix it with other modalities as well. So it definitely does lighten and brighten and rejuvenates. Oh,
It's a good question. How does it affect tattoos, Mona? Great
so
question.
generally, yes, absolutely. So any face tattoos, meaning brows, lip liners, eyes, I just like to avoid the area. I don't like to overlap BioRePeel right on top. So I will just go right. Let's say if it's, I have my brows done, I'll go right close to it. I won't overlap the product right on the brows. Body tattoos are okay. If you can avoid the area, I would avoid it. Will anything happen if you overlap it? No. I just like to take caution and just don't overlap it in those areas.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Yes.
great question, actually. It's a great question. Anyone else? Soon will be seeing you'll be seeing this everywhere. So for all those microneedlers out there, I'm telling you, this is the 1.5 years ago of BioRePeel where nobody wanted to buy my product. And I'm telling you that this is in 1.5 years from now, we'll be doing a big Zoom on this when everybody's buying it. So be the first to get it in your area if you
Might be able to
microneedle.
Zoom at lunch. That would be fun.
Sorry?
I said
Pardon?
we could do a Zoom at lunch when you're ready.
Yeah, no, we will. I mean, well, this product's already on the market. This is my microneedling. The Lucente product, my brightening kit. Yes, I will be doing one for sure. Does this help with rosacea? Yes, it does help with rosacea. It actually works really well. Depending on your state, I'm not sure with medical directors, depending on what state you're in. I can speak to, a lot of the states that we deal with, it's not required. But I'm not sure because it's buffered, it's modulated, it's very, very heavily modulated, this peel, it's like it performs like there's no TCA in it. So it's strange. I mean, some of you who put it on your face, when you do, you're going to wonder, like, why don't I feel anything? Like, that's one of the concerns when we're doing, customers are like, my client said they didn't feel anything, but I said, but when they got up and they looked in the mirror, what did they see? And they're like, oh, they liked what they saw, but it's almost scary because they're not feeling anything. And I'm charging them this money. And I said, listen, the results have to speak for themselves. You have to be patient. You have to wait a couple weeks. Anyone else? Thank you all for coming, by the way, and thank you for entertaining us.
And like, if there's no questions, I'm actually going to start a chat for this and the group to be able to answer like real questions. My hope, obviously, for the group is to be able to help them, like, because obviously we need to learn the treatment, learn how to market it. But then it's like, I want to help them with like packages and like, how are you going to put it in your booking system? I love the idea about the hands. Like, I'm going to be obsessed with that for the next like 6 months.
Yeah.
For those who are late, if you get BioRePeel and you don't know how to market it, do it on the back of their hand.
Exactly. And like, what are you wasting at the end of the day? Maybe a $500,000, maybe. But when you have that client that come in, and listen, I'm talking to Estes, we're all business owners here, like when you got that client coming in who's got the money, invest the $0.5 ml to do one of her hands. Do it on her hand and say, hey, Michelle, look, and when they get up and they look and they'll be like, and you'll be like, yeah, we do that for the face and neck, and they'll sign up, like they will. And it's a minor investment. Some people run Groupons. Some people run promos that, in businesses, when we advertise, we're losing money when we advertise. But what's your real cost on that advertisement to that client that would buy those sessions? Your actual cost is on the $0.5 ml. What is it, $7 to maybe have a chance at getting that, customer that's a good customer of yours to come in for 4 sessions to where you're making your $850 for 40 minutes of work. It's sometimes it's worth, playing around like that. So, I mean, the body peel, it's just the instantaneous results are just under the arms, the hands. I mean, it's really, really, and the elbows, it's remarkable, on dry elbows next day, like they look like new elbows. They really do.
It does.
And you're welcome for answering. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for being interested in us. We appreciate it.
I'm like, okay, so I will send out the replay. It's already streamed into the group and pinned to the top, but we'll send it out via newsletter because I like to give people different options. If you're interested, if you fill out the drop form, I'll call you, send you a very detailed email. Probably talk on the phone for 30 minutes. And thank everybody for joining. Thank you guys for taking the time to answer these questions.
You're welcome.
It's our pleasure, and it's honestly, it's our pleasure, and it's more about thank you guys for giving us your time, and whatever we can do to help bring you guys on and educate you and help you make money with this. We're a one-time order for $1,000 is not going to change my life. That's not what I'm looking for here. I'm looking to have you offer this as a service. I'm looking to have you find an additional source of revenue for your business, be able to provide for your families, be able to do all the things that we all have to do every day, and we'll do whatever we can to assist you in making that. I mean, obviously, I can't force customers into your clinic, but we'll do our best to give you the tools and the resources to succeed with this, so that this is a menu service that you guys offer, assuming you want to grant us the opportunity to service you.
Yeah, well, thank you guys, and we will continue the conversation inside of the group.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for everything. Mona, thank you. And thank you all again for your time.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
everyone. Thank you, Maria. Good night.
Right.
Bye.